everybody. Welcome to another great LTS show. I'm out of breath after the intro. Your boy ain't got much cardio. Welcome to another great LTS show. I am your host, Bodkins. Welcome to another great fucking show. Man. We got lots to talk to tonight. We're going to talk a little game 2 of the NBA Finals. Celtics up 2-0. Man, I mean, will the real Kyrie please stand up? Will the real Kyrie please stand up? He is nowhere to be found. I don't know if he's on the middle of the ocean trying to figure out where the earth ends or where he's at. But he is not. He wasn't in Boston. He wasn't in Boston, and he's cost his team 2 games. Luka's done everything that he could do, especially in game 2 last night, banged up and beat down, did everything that he could do. But where's everybody else at? You know what I mean? We don't, that's the question. Seems like we can't find him. Nonetheless, so we're missing, Luka is out right now, it seems like, but, maybe he'll find his groove back when they get back to Dallas. So, other than that, we'll talk a little the baseball as well. Right now, we won't have Mr. Jim Biringer on tonight. He is boots on the ground at the Stanley Cup Game 2 happening. Oilers up 1-0 at the end of the first period, so maybe they can tie that series up and get to 1-1. So lots to talk about with the guys, so we'll go ahead, and I mentioned Boston earlier, but we'll bring all the guys in eventually, talking all the NBA playoffs. Also, shocking news out of today, Hurley staying at UConn, so we'll get into that as well, and then we'll have, hopefully, Jonathan Grishman will join us in the second half, coming from California, as he's coaching the kids up there. But we'll go ahead and bring in our own Hall of Famer, Scott Cobe.
Don't mess with Lucky the Leprechaun. It'll bite you in the butt.
The Celtics are up 2-0. How's the gambling going right now? I mean, through 2 games, I couldn't tell you who the NBA Finals MVP was. Last night, it was Drew Holiday. He balled out. Game 1 was Kristaps Porzingis, 20 points in 21 minutes. Tatum was the facilitator last night. He struggled shooting. And to me, the MVP of the finals could be Brad Stevens for putting these, pulling the strings to get Porzingis and then getting Drew Holiday as well. He might be the MVP because it's been those guys. It's the others, not the 2 stars, kind of leading the way through games 1 and 2.
I 1,000% agree with you. Brad Stevens is the MVP, but the on-court MVP has to be Drew Holiday for what he's done against Kyrie, number 1, and number 2. Tatum is now has become less of a scorer, and Dallas has defended Tatum to the point where you're not beating us. So what Tatum is doing is what he should be doing, which is facilitating the Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Derek White, all those guys. So I think that Drew Holiday could be the MVP if he has another great game like that.
Jaylen Brown. Ooh. Yeah, it would be like Iguodala when he got the MVP. Are you sprinkling in some money on Drew Holiday right now? I'm sure that's plus money even after 2 games.
I put it on 2 guys, and one was Drew Holiday, obviously, for what he did last night. The other guy is Jaylen Brown. And if he goes out in Dallas and has 2, say 25 to 28-point games, he could be the MVP of the NBA Finals. But I would say this. I would caution everybody that if Luka goes out and scores 38 points or 40 points in each of the next 2 games, he could be in that conversation, even though Dallas may lose the series. So
that's only happened one time in the NBA history, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he had the triple-double last night. Tatum was 1 rebound away from triple-double last night. But I think Luka's doing everything he possibly can to keep that Dallas team afloat, because I don't see Kyrie helping him at all. I just think that for whatever reason, the Celtics are in his head right now, and he can't, for whatever reason. Drew Holiday is just doing a masterful job against them. So kudos to them. They're taking away one of the 2 guys, which I didn't know if they could do, but they are doing. So, and nobody else around them is helping them at all. If you looked at their supporting cast last night, it was not good. So.
Yeah, is there anybody else? Who else are we looking at just in all the sports? Any gambling tips for the folks out there right now?
I like Edmonton to even the series tonight. I think it's 1-0 Edmonton right now. I like them to even the series tonight. I just think they pulled a no-show. Bobrovsky was great. If Florida wins tonight and Edmonton scores 1 goal, I think you got to look at Bobrovsky as possibly the MVP of the Stanley Cup Finals, because he'll have shut down a potent Edmonton offense to the point of 1 goal in 2 games. That's phenomenal. The Yankees, I looked at the Yankees tonight, didn't bet them because I like the Royals a lot so far this early in the season. Orioles, I bet against Tampa Bay. They were up 4-2 last check. I don't know if they're going to hold on to that lead, but Tampa Bay's not playing well right now. Other than that, there's not much. I mean, I had Caitlin Clark over 2.5 threes in her game. She's got 2 and she's on the bench. Connecticut.
Yes, that game's over. They held her to 10 points. So
so Connecticut.
The Connecticut's real good.
Connecticut's real good. New York's real good, and Las Vegas is real good. So any of those 3 teams could win the WNBA title this year. So I've already sprinkled on Connecticut and New York, and I'm probably going to do it on Las Vegas too. So
yeah, well, and we could get into some Caitlin Clark talk here in a minute. Obviously, that talk is her not making the U.S. team, but we'll go ahead and we'll bring in none other than Mr. First Down. Sam, what's up, my man?
Hey, boys, how we doing?
Doing?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What's
I
up?
said, how are the Guardians doing?
Oh, sitting pretty right now, 20 above 500, and supposedly the best bullpen in the league, which it made me raise an eyebrow. But I look at it and say, if that's the best bullpen in the league, then everyone else's pitching is really bad.
It is. I can tell you from a Cubs perspective, it's bad. So I can't really speak on any other team other than the Cubs. And I can tell you, I feel like we have the worst fucking team in bullpen in baseball. So, and Scott might say the same thing about the Red Sox. So
absolutely, no doubt.
I think around the league, it is bad.
Yeah, no, it's got to be whatnot. Now, I'm not going to take away from Tanner Bybee, who's really stepped it up. Don't want to take away from Ben Lively, who's really stepped it up. Don't want to take away from Logan Allen, who's really stepped it up.
The other guy? Who's the other guy, Sam?
There's 2 of them. The bane of my existence. Okay, there's 2 of them. Cookie Carrasco. Cookie is such a stupid.
Carrasco's terrible.
He's awful. And they have to bail him out every time. Every time. Tristan is a wild card. Oh, thank you, babe. Get you a wife that brings you Whataburger and puts it up there for you. That's what I'm talking about. Afraid of the camera, are you? Okay. Anyway, so
the injury to McKenzie seemed to really do something to him, because he has not come back the same pitcher as he was before the injury. So
no, he actually threw a fastball. I thought I was drunk or something. I just never seen it before. Usually drifts right over the plate so they can hit a home run with it. So I was I'm very pleased. I don't think any of us really saw this coming. I certainly didn't see it coming. And it all came from Stephen Vogt, who's got that team rolling. And kudos to him, and kudos to Jose Ramirez, Bo Naylor, Josh Naylor, all those guys.
Vogt's got to be AL Manager of the Year right now, right, Scott? I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody had the Guardians do
that. Roster hasn't changed very much either.
Yeah, because the only other guy that possibly could be is Aaron Boone, and nobody likes Aaron Boone. So,
I think people had the Yankees playing. I know Jonathan wasn't high on the Yankees. I had them finishing second, so maybe I was just a little crazier than most. But I didn't have the Guardians, doing what they're doing. So you got to look at the payroll and everybody else. So I would. If I was a voter, I'd probably vote for Voigt right now or the Guardians.
I think if the Royals or Guardians win the AL Central, I think whoever wins the AL Central will be Manager of the Year, to be honest.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see that. Matheny's the coach of the Royals. Is he still coaching the Royals, right? It's still Matheny.
Is it Matheny? Yeah, I think it is Matheny. Yeah.
But
the Royals are hot too, but they're playing the Yankees this week, so we'll get a good sense of what the Royals are and could be like down the stretch here. So
yeah, I mean, it's easy to beat the likes of the White Sox and the Tigers, you know what I mean, right now. So Those are the teams in the division. And not the Tigers aren't bad. They're not a bad team. I know Jonathan had them. He thought they would win the division and had them playing really well. But
they played us tough in that series we had against them. They played us really tough.
I just don't think they're ready yet,
Their offense is not as good as we all, at least Jonathan and myself, because I was right there with Jonathan. Their offense is not as good, and Torkelson has gone down to the minors now. So that's a big blow for them. So
the big news this morning, we'll get back to the NBA Finals here in a second, Scott. But the big news was that Hurley has rejected the 6-year, $72 million or $70 million a year from the Lakers. They tried to pay him $11.5 million, and to come to LA, he just says, you know what, I'm gonna stay. Fentanyl, the drug.
It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
It's terrible thing. Yes, it's terrible. Sorry there, Triple J. Nobody here's on drugs, at least not fentanyl and heroin. Sorry, you wrong podcast. But nonetheless, thoughts on Hurley sticking around in UConn? It's being reported that he was already working out a deal to stay, and you mentioned that on Thursday. It was like, this could be leverage, you know what I mean? Because he saw that Gino got paid, and now it looks like UConn, like, hey, UConn, you better come correct because I could have walked out the door.
Yeah. So the Lakers thing was Hurley get on a plane and went back to Connecticut. Don't let the guy get back on the plane without a signed contract, and they allowed it to happen. And right there, as soon as he got on the plane, I kind of figured he wasn't taking the Lakers job, because if he was taking the Lakers job, he'd have stayed in LA and started to look at the roster and look at the Lakers organization and stuff like that. So for him to get on the plane and head back east, I knew the Lakers were in trouble for getting him. Now, as I said in the basketball chat or our chat earlier today, the two candidates that they have, top two, J.J. Redick and James Borrega. Are they better than Darvin Ham? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Darvin Ham just took the Milwaukee top assistant's job with Doc Rivers. So, the Lakers are in a world of hurt. J.J. Redick is LeBron's boy. LeBron loves him.
I agree with Ronald. I don't think Hurley ever really intended to take that job. I think he wanted to hear them out and was going to use it as leverage. I did see a thing where his dad, he kind of comes from that line where you stick around. His dad was like a high school coach, like won so many state titles, was offered so many high ranking jobs, and never left. And Hurley wants to make history, trying to make a three-peat at UConn. So he just kind of falls right into that line of like, you know what, I'm going to stick around and try to finish what I started. So I do think JJ might be. We'll see. I don't know if he's good. You know what I mean? Darvin was a first-time head coach. JJ would be a first-time head coach. JJ's never sat on the bench. Now, I know he's got playing experiences, and he's done everything that you could possibly do in the game of basketball and knows the game. But, are you really, like you said, Scott, I don't really know if that's improvement over them.
If James Borrega is your choice as head coach to coach LeBron and Anthony Davis and
JJ Redick, yeah.
Yeah, Redick, but Borrega's name is also out there. He's an assistant with Memphis. They talked to him about the job before they talked to Hurley. Really, he's better than Darvin Ham? I mean, come on. I mean,
the guy I heard too was Jay Wright. I heard Jay Wright's name being floated around.
Well, here's a name has been off the map for a while that I don't understand why he's never gotten a shot. Mark Jackson. Where is he? Where is he right now? I mean, is he better than JJ Redick and
I don't know. I thought at one time Mark was going to get a job at the Knicks or something, and something it fell through. But you're right. He was a guy that took the Warriors, you know what I mean? And then Steve Kerr obviously took him, but I think he had them in, made the playoffs several times and kind of helped build that squad up and believed in it. Believed in that.
May I do the headlines, because one of them is Dan Hurley.
Go ahead. If it correlates to, go ahead.
Yeah. Dan Hurley will not go to the NBA after all. The UConn coach declined a 6-year, $70 million contract offer from the Los Angeles Lakers to become the team's next head coach. Is it a slap to the face that they got turned down, or will it be a slap to the face if they're turned down again?
No, so it was not because Hurley turned them down, because I don't, like most people didn't think it was kind of 50-50 when you first heard about it. But you could definitely see him going back to UConn because of everything he's built. And he's a college coach, you know what I mean? And demands respect, and he's a no nonsense coach. And that's something that really doesn't really fly a whole lot. Very few coaches get away with that in the NBA.
I think what this Hurley thing does is now NBA teams know his name is out there, and he would consider, whether he takes it or not, it's a different story, but he will consider going to an NBA team. I think he's got to go to a young NBA team. I think he needs to be with a younger group where he can teach and mold them into the team that he wants.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
With the Lakers, those are old guys. They've been in the NBA
and not the Lakers either, because you're in the spotlight. Like, you know what I mean? You go to LA, Boston, New York, even somewhat Chicago. Like, you're in the spotlight. You have to fucking win the headlines, especially LA. Like, that's a Laker town still. Like, it's a Lakers town. Like, you know, you can say what you want, but the Lakers are above the Rams, Chargers, every other sporting team. It's a Lakers show in LA. So, like, you would be in the headlines every day there. And I don't think, like Scott said, like, going to that team, the way he coaches, I don't think was going to be a great fit there. So I don't think so. I don't think it's a slap in the face. I actually think I read somebody tweeted this out and it made sense to me. It's a win-win for everybody. The Lakers can say, hey, we tried to go get a guy, like the guy. And then Hurley can say, you know what? I love UConn. I'm going to stay at UConn, and I'm going to get a bigger check from UConn. That's a win from him. Woj, I think somebody said he wrote a book about Hurley's dad. And he got the scoop, right? Like, so he gets the big scoop and gets the notoriety, you know, the Woj bombs and things like that. So everybody wins in the situation. And nonetheless, you know, unfortunately for the Lakers, they're still looking for a head coach and don't have one.
So does it ever become does it ever become a slap in the face? Like, if they get turned down by JJ, right? That's a slap, or
no? Because I don't think Jay Wright is really interested in going.
Okay.
Coaching.
If they get JJ Redick, if they get turned down by I don't think JJ Redick's turning down that job.
No, I don't think so either. That's LeBron's guy. LeBron loves him.
Yeah.
So I don't think if LeBron went to him and say, hey, JJ, we really need a coach.
Sam, it's a slap in the face if, like, so a couple years ago, the Cavs hired Beeline from Michigan. Yeah. He was there for 20 games, and they fired him. Just never got – that's a slap in the face to the coach and to the organization, because you just brought this guy in for 20 games. You should have known better. You didn't do your homework.
Right.
You didn't do your homework on him to see if he fit with the players. So, like, that's a slap in the face. Like, or even, you know, Billy Donovan way back before he made the jump to the Thunder accepted a contract to go to the Orlando Magic and never signed it, and then turned around and said, no, thank you. Much like what's his name did with the Colts, McDaniels.
McDaniels.
As we bring Tanner in, do you guys realize it's 20 years ago this week that the Lakers went after Mike Krzyzewski and he turned it down?
Yeah.
20 years ago to this.
They tried to do that before they brought Phil back, I believe, right?
Yeah. So they threw a boatload of money at Krzyzewski, told him he could have the run of the organization. It was his organization, his team, and he turned him down too. Same scenario. Went to LA, got back on the plane, went to Duke with an offer, no signed contract. You knew right then he was staying at Duke. As soon as these guys get back on the plane, it's like free agents in the NFL, Sam. Don't let him out the door without a contract.
The thing that helped, you know, Krzyzewski, Coach K too, is like he got to coach the USA team. Yeah. You know, so he got to be involved in that NBA, kind of be around the guys. We'll go ahead and bring in our producer, super duper producer Tanner, here as well.
Hey, Tanner.
What up?
Tanner, we're just talking about the Lakers head coaching job, how Hurley kind of turned that down. All the money, $11 million, and I'm sure UConn's going to pony up, is expected to kind of pony up somewhere around there. Your thoughts on Hurley saying thanks, but no thanks?
Perfect decision. Why go out
and ruin a win-win for everybody? Yeah.
Why would you go out and ruin your career? Look what's this? Was it Donovan down in Florida?
Beeline. Donovan's in the NBA, but Beeline out of Michigan. Well,
yeah, but think about what he would be in Florida though if he would have stayed. It's just like the decisions that made. That's a reason why Coach K, Michigan State,
Tom Izzo. Yeah, he was going to go to the Cavs at one point.
Yeah. There's reasons why these guys didn't leave. Bill Self has ties to the Spurs, and ties, I think, to Dallas as well at some point. And he didn't leave. He stayed at KU and, took the lifetime deal in the end. I think it's the right move. I don't think, why would you leave a back-to-back college program to go coach in the NBA unless it's your dream too, I guess, in the end. But you're so successful, you're locked in probably for life at this point in UConn. Just be above 500. Why would you go risk an NBA career than your downfall and you never see the light of day again?
So Tanner, let me ask you this: Danny Hurley's ideal job, young team, out of the press, out of the spotlight, as myself and Nick and Sam were talking before you came on. Is that Danny Hurley's ideal job? A team where he can mold them into what he wants, a bunch of young guys, like take Washington or Detroit for an example.
Or even the Kings or somebody like the Kings or somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the young guys part, but it's still the egos. You're still getting ego in the NBA, right? Yeah. And in the college, you at least get some, but you don't have you don't have that NBA ego yet, except for maybe a couple players in there, right? And it's a lot more team friendly game. Yes, the NIL has kind of changed things around, but if you're a coach that's adapted to it and you can control these guys, aka again back-to-back champs, why bother with the NBA ego, team where a guy gets really good and you're losing, he demands a trade, and then it causes a whole bunch of drama and you're canned, right? It's the atmosphere, the scenarios that the NBA has is not it's not what a true college basketball coach should be looking into,
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ronald said it, nailed it. The money is comparable for top college coaches, so there's no real incentive to jump to the NBA unless it's a goal you have. And you're probably right on the money right there too, Ronald. I kind of agree with that.
He wins the NCAA title this coming season.
That's three in a row.
Those boosters at UConn better back up the 3 Brinks trucks to his house and just open the door and let the money fall out.
He's gonna get the Bill Self contract.
Yeah,
you're
that's
just
3 in a row. That's more than Bill Self ever got. 3 in a row.
No, I'm saying it's a Bill Self contract. It's a lifetime contract.
Yeah,
you're essentially there until you don't want to be there. Is what it is. So.
Yeah, much like they just said Gino. You know what I mean? So he wins 3 in a row. No, I don't know if there's ever been in my lifetime. I can't think of a team that's won 3 in a row. Florida won 2.
The only one. UCLA is the only one.
Back with Doc. Back with Wooden. And that's way before. You know what I mean? Way before my time. Yep. So
that's when I was in high school, Nick.
Yeah. Hey, Gino was. I heard he was recruiting you, and he saw this other guy named Lou Alcindor you were playing against, and. They were there to see Scott Cope and found Lou Alcindor.
I lost out to Walton and Alcindor. I
mean, these things happen, Scott. Get back on that horse, man.
I know.
You guys ready for your second headline?
Go ahead.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark is not going to the Olympic team. Oh, shock. Oh, which seems reasonable to many and a bummer to her fans. What's your opinion on it, and what do you tell people who keep demanding she be on the Olympic team? Because I got to tell you, it's chaos out there.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so obviously I'm the Caitlin Clark. That's, you know what I mean? I'm actually – I don't really know if there is 20 better, like any player that, the comparator, you can get to listen to both sides. They're all older. They don't have one player under the age of 26 on that roster. So it's actually it's like the complete opposite on the men's side where it's all young kids. So they're taking the old vets. She's going to have her time. I actually think it's the best thing for her because once this WNBA season's over, she doesn't have to play. This girl has been playing basketball since, October, November of 2023.
Grind is real. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's been grinding it out with pretty much nonstop, plus all this media obligations and everything like that until, once the WNBA season's over and her team stinks. So they'll be, they're not making the playoffs or anything like that. Does she have statistics to make to make a case to make the team? Yes. But you know what? Oh, well, she didn't make the team. In 4 years from now, she's gonna make the damn team. But I think this gives her time, her body to rest, get a little bit bigger and stronger for the next WNBA season. But she needs some rest because this poor girl's been running ragged, playing every dang minute that she possibly can. From last October. Remember, they were playing in the football stadium, and you know what I mean, and doing stuff like that in Iowa. So like October to now, like that's nonstop. I'm perfectly okay. I think it's the best for her not to make it because if she also makes it, then guess what the media is going to do? They're going to keep scrutinizing her and going back and forth.
They're going to do that anyways.
Yeah.
No question. Plus, from what I heard this morning, I was watching a show called Driving the Line this morning. They were talking about this specific topic, and there's a lot of jealousy on that team toward Caitlin Clark. They did not want her on the team. Now she's a top alternate. If somebody gets hurt, she will be the name that goes.
Yeah.
But I guess Diana Taurasi did not want her on the team, and she's supposedly the veteran leader. She did not want her on the team. There's some players that did not want her on the team. And that goes to one word, jealousy. They're all jealous of her success and what she's done in her career so far. So, and look at the way the players are treated her in the WNBA.
Ronald, she's committing 8 turnovers because those players haven't played well with her. You look at her numbers at Iowa. Yeah, she turns the ball over a little bit, but it ain't because she ain't trying. You know what I mean? It ain't because she's trying.
No doubt. She was turning the ball over in Iowa is when she takes her 8 to 10 half-court shots and decides to just tuck it up. So that's the only time she was turning over.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that on the team that they didn't really think that she would mesh in with them and she would play well, play in with them. Plus a lot of people are saying if she only gets 8-9 minutes of the game, is she going to be happy there or is she going to be miserable?
I think she would.
She'd be fine. She'd be fine. It's for the country. She's playing for a country. I think she'd be fine, but that has come out too in terms of
it would be like to me, and like I said, they're taking a lot of the older vets. It'd be like when Christian Laettner was on the Dream Team. Like you're just like, what the hell? She's actually probably, more of a star. But I don't know, Laettner. That was a little bit right before my time. So Scott, you could probably speak on it better than I can. Laettner was a huge star, just like Caitlin was, and like he made the Dream Team. Like he was the only college player to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you looked at the Larry Bird Magic Johnson team, it was 11 NBA guys, and then it was Christian Laettner. It was like, okay, what doesn't belong? Which, as we've seen, which of these don't belong with each other? And it was Christian Laettner, but he was the stud in the NCAA at Duke. So they had to take one NCAA guy I think they wanted, and that was the guy they took. So
yeah. What's up, Arrowhead? Go ahead, Sam. What's the next?
What's up, Arrowhead?
Last one. I wanted 5, but I can get you 3 in this, era of sports. Mike Tomlin gets a 3-year extension. Going through social media and chatting it up with the Steelers faithful, which I have. I needed a shower afterwards. Has shown that this move is not as celebrated as I thought it would be. What do you guys think? And of course, tell me if it was a good idea.
He's a winner. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't get rid of coaches. They just don't get rid of coaches.
They don't.
Once you find a good one, keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get from a Steelers standpoint, they ain't won a playoff game in a decade. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. He's also taking it to the playoffs with teams that had no damn business making the playoffs.
Yep.
They made the playoffs with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and he could throw it about as far as my 7-year-old son. So, like, it may be about as hard, too. So, and he made the playoffs this year. They made the playoffs, and they were playing Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, and Kenny Pickett.
You go above 500 playing what was Dobbs and Rudolph in a season? Like, yeah, you just don't let a guy go like that. You don't.
Yeah. Plus, it's not only that. I think this is the best thing that could have happened to Justin Fields this year. Not starting on the bench, watching the game. Who knows whether he's in Pittsburgh after this year? But Mike Tomlin will do for Justin Fields what nobody in Chicago could do for him this coming season. And
coach him up. Give him confidence. Yeah.
So, Arthur Smith's the offensive coordinator there. I get it. Not the most ideal offensive coordinator.
Not a boy, Art.
He is the Mike Tomlin Jr. coach, if you've ever seen one. Let's run the ball. Let's keep running it. And let's not throw the ball more than 20 times in the game. And that's what Tomlin wants to do. So,
yep.
Yeah, I think it's a great hire. I get from Pittsburgh some Steeler fans being frustrated. Hey, we haven't won a playoff game. It's been a decade, 2 decades almost. I don't know, not 2 decades, but when they win the Super Bowl, 2008, 9? No, that was with Bill Cowher.
It was in Detroit. I remember.
No, 2008. They won it with him. Remember Larry Fitzgerald? And,
so was it 2000? Yeah, 2008. Was it 2008?
That is his last year. It was in.
That was 06 Detroit with Bill Cowher.
Oh, you guys gotta make me do this.
And then they won it with Ben on the Santonio Holmes toe tap.
Oh, that's right, in Arizona. Yeah.
What a throw!
They beat Arizona. They beat Arizona.
Yeah, they beat Arizona.
I can't remember what year that was. That 08 or 09?
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
I think it was 09.
You have okay, so 1980, then 06 and 09.
Yeah.
09. Okay.
09.
Yeah.
Yeah. 09 is so it's been a while. You know what I mean? But who are you going to find that's better? That's the question.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Who's going to be better than Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh? It was just like Bill Cowher.
Anyway,
who's better than him? Mike Tomlin.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I hear you. I was shocked to find. I would be like, oh, like we all said, good move. Like we're all like, yeah, good move.
Yeah.
It was amazing the amount of frustration I found.
It's funny how fan bases want these coaches out, and then the coaches are out, and then the next guy comes in and they say, boy, I wish we had Mike Tomlin. He was a really good coach.
Be careful what you wish for.
There's a guy that's waiting to post, told y'all. There's only one other team that wouldn't take Mike Tomlin, and that's Tanner's Chiefs because they have Andy Reid. Outside of that, all other 29, 28, 30 teams, they would want Mike Tomlin as their head coach. I hear you.
Exactly. Prime Bill Belichick time, no. But right now, I'd absolutely
want Tomlin.
I'd absolutely take Tomlin.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, what he's done the last few years, the last 4 or 5 years, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe they held on to Ben too long, but that's also Ben never retired, and they did. The one thing about the Steelers is they usually do their guys the right way. You know what I mean? Yes, they treat the organization treats their guys the right way. They don't have, you know what I mean? Like once you're a guy there, you're a guy there for life, and they don't want to get rid of you. You know what I mean? And that's can be detrimental, as we saw with Ben. And then, they got stuck with Kenny Pickett because he was the only quarterback taken in that whole first round in that draft class. And you know what I mean? He didn't pan out what they thought, and he got hurt, and they still made the playoffs. When you make the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky starting, like, that means something.
Plus, not only that, we haven't mentioned yet, look at the division they play in.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, that's a killer division.
Might be the toughest.
I had Yvette of Bougie Sports on last night on my podcast, and she's a big Browns fan. And
God bless her.
We all said, like, that's the best division in football right now. Like, on paper, like going into this year, it's the best division in football.
If Burrow stays healthy the whole year, Cincinnati and Baltimore are going to be fighting for that division the whole year.
But you could make a case for the Browns and the Steelers.
You could. Absolutely. You could.
So, guys, because of the dead news cycle, we have breaking news that safety Marcus May is signing with the Dolphins, according to Dustin Schultz. Titans are now pursuing Simmons. Is it Justin Simmons, I think?
Yeah, he's still out there.
Yeah. So a little bit of shakeup. Simmons is considered the last starting safety in this whole group, which is kind of.
He's good out there. I think his numbers just got to be. He's got to be asking for a shit ton of money, right?
I hope they sign May to a cheap contract because they need as much money as they can for Tua and
Can they control him? Can they keep him out of trouble, man? That's what I got.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
I know it's funny how these teams just throw darts at these guys this late in the offseason.
Hey, Ray was found innocent, and you got to have a fall guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody's got to have a fall guy.
Ed, where you been, Ed?
As a Titans fan, I don't believe in that name. Nah.
I do want to real quick kind of get back to game 2 of the NBA Finals. I asked at the beginning where the hell Kyrie Irving is. And Scott, I mean, you mentioned it. Drew Holiday is locked him up. I mean, Big Perk on kind of said it on Get Up this morning, I think, was like he's got him in a body bag.
Perk, I hate Perk. I hate Perk. Don't boo Kyrie. Don't boo him. Treat him nice. He's gonna come back and burn you. What the heck?
Tanner, if Kyrie don't show up, this series is over.
No, it's already over, man. I hate to break it to you. Luka,
you got it over already.
What did Luka score last night?
30
triple-double. He had 30 at halftime.
Okay, so your main guy scores a triple-double, and you lose the lead in the fourth. Like you've been back
in the third. It was over in the third. Really, they got a 10-point lead.
In the third, right?
Yeah.
It's just like if you can't put them away, that go into the game that far, and you're scoring over Porzingis. You're making Tatum look like an average NBA player. Well, that's what Luka was doing to him. And Celtics, like I've been telling Scott and in the hoop crew that's on right now as well. It's the Yankees, man. It's the Yankees of NBA.
We have an LTS show on when we're on. Come on, man.
Well, yeah, they're playing the Indians right now.
That's why you don't see Allen in the comments because he's on.
It's over, man. I think Luka might get one game, maybe one game. But if Kyrie's sitting here just gonna watch Luka and not try to get around Holiday or make any plays, it's over, man.
It's over.
The Celtics.
I'm throwing in the towel already. I'm throwing in the towel. Look,
the Celtics have lost.
Throw in the towel.
Have not lost a road playoff game this playoffs. They're perfect on the road.
Something's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
all they have to do is split in Dallas. All they got to do is split. That's it.
Like I said, they may not.
I thought last night.
One.
I thought last night if Dallas could win, then the series could go longer. But man, just like watching last night, like. I thought Luka could maybe do it, but man, where is everybody else at? And it's just you look around that Boston team; they're so damn deep. Like we were talking,
5 for 22 beyond 3 at a half.
They shot awful.
It was awful, and they were still in it, and then they became up 10. I think
you know whose fault this is, though. You know whose fucking fault this is. Scott, you should be thanking your lucky stars that Dame Lillard got traded to Milwaukee because they didn't have a fucking point guard. They didn't have a point guard. They wouldn't. Holiday wouldn't be on this team.
I'm willing to give some money to Doc to sign Dame long term in Milwaukee.
I mean, the fact that Dame got traded to Milwaukee and they traded Drew, and then he says, "Give me that." They bought him out, and they said, "Come to Boston." He said, "Let's fucking roll so I can beat Milwaukee and show them like y'all made the worst mistake."
They did.
And look, I mean, that's whose fault it is. Milwaukee was like, let's get greedy.
And Nick, here's the thing. I even heard out of Milwaukee, they didn't want to train Drew. They didn't want to trade him because they were afraid he'd end up in Boston somehow.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he ended up in
Boston. Yeah, in Boston.
He
went to the Jazz first, right? Or something like that?
No, it was Portland.
Portland, that's right. Portland.
Yeah.
And then like it still didn't work.
Wow.
That's probably a good one, Ed. That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Like I was sitting there like, man,
a little dated, but yeah, it gets there.
Luka might actually pull this game out. Boston's not playing well, and I was just watching it. And then, I think I was doing some stuff like Pierre. I look up towards the end of the third. Yeah, like you said, Boston started to pull away, and like, oh, they're coming in. They're coming out closer in the fourth, and then it was just gone from there. And I watched Kyrie miss two shots you should have had.
Yeah, so I'm going to put this out there because I know I put it in our group chat, and because I really wanted to put it so I could say it online too, to compare for the first two games, Drew Holiday and Kyrie. Drew Holiday is averaging 19 points per game. Kyrie's averaging 14 points per game. Drew's shooting 65% from the field. Kyrie 35% from the field. Drew is shooting 44% from the three-point line. Kyrie's made as many three-pointers in the first two games as the four of us have.
Zero.
Nick, I want you to go ask Drew when his last championship was, and I want you to ask Kyrie when his last championship was, and what he did the year before his last championship. Remember, they were the worst team in the NBA before LeBron came and saved them for the championship.
Yep.
And then look what he's done ever since he's been the guy or part of a guy that's not LeBron team. And this is
let me run away from the situation. I'm the guy. Yeah. I can't be the guy.
Yeah, Drew. I was thinking about this. Drew reminds me a lot of, and not the way they play, but like just how underrated. Tony Parker was very underrated, and Drew reminds me of that. Very underrated. Like people don't really realize how good of a ball player they are. Like Drew's he's an all-star. He's been an all-star. You know what I mean? But it's just like, he's just a guy. Like he played with Giannis. Like you know what I mean? And Chris Middleton. Like he's not really like you know what I mean? That kind of guy. Just much like Tony Parker was, right? Like people are like, Tony's good, but he's not. You know, he's not Duncan or Manu. You know what I mean? But like Drew is that good. Like there's no way as bad as Tatum played last night that they win that game without Drew Holiday. Like 2 years ago when they played the Warriors, if Tatum has that game, Dallas blows them out. But because of Drew Holiday, I love Marcus Smart, and he was a good ball player. Is a really good ball player.
Threat that Holiday is.
Yeah, offensive player, or even really the good defensive. But like he's not as smart as Holiday either.
Here's the thing with the Mavericks. Luka and Kyrie have to score at least 70 points a game for them to stand a chance in this series. 70.
No, Luka has to score 70, right?
Well, Luka has to score 60.
Because we know Irving's not doing that consistently.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the thing, because there's nobody around these two guys, guy and a half. There's nobody around the guy and a half that poses a threat to the Celtics. No. Daniel Gafford, Jones. I mean, come on. There's nobody in that Dallas roster that the Celtics can look at and say, I'm scared of that guy. That guy can beat us. Besides Luka and Kyrie. That's it.
Hey, Brown.
Kyrie's a no-show. He's been a no-show. Yeah, Ron, I understand what you're saying about real quick. The only casuals underrated, Tony, a.k.a. T-Pain. That because he didn't get the attention like national media-wise is what I'm trying to say about even with Holiday as well. Like they don't get the recognition by the national media or even like the casuals as far as like how good of a ball players they are. Like Drew Holiday is an absolute dog every place he's ever played at.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee you the media will try to find a way not to give – if Drew Holiday has 2 more games like this or even another game, the media will find a way not to give Drew Holiday the MVP.
No,
give it to Brown.
I don't know. They gave it to Iguodala. They gave it to Iggy that 1 year against –
But that's the thing. I mean, they will look for a way to Tatum didn't have to score. He just set up his teammates. Oh, Jaylen Brown. No,
they're going to give it to Jaylen Brown.
Holiday is the guy right now. He's the guy.
Jaylen Brown repeats what he did last night. He's going to get the MVP. All he needs is 1 more game to do it.
Less turnovers.
Average game 4.
Yeah, I agree. And
he was banging at Villagoria. He got my respect for sure.
Drew Holiday is the best player on the court right now on both teams. Both teams, because he's shutting down Kyrie and he's.
I know he's not better than Luka. I mean, I'm not gonna say that.
Luka turns the ball over 7 times.
We're bringing that into this chat, bro.
But he's scoring 40 over. He's scoring 20 over per season.
There was a moment in the game last night. Luka was so on fire. He actually he did that same move, right? Like where he goes back good left, and then he kind of does the Dirk fadeaway a little bit on the one knee. It was late in the third. You could tell he's just getting fucking tired. And Mike Breen goes, and it goes in. He's like, oh, shit. He's like, I thought he was going to make it because he had made every one before that, and he just missed it. And I was like, don't worry about it, Mike. In my head, I was like, I thought it was going in, too, because he's made every one of them tonight. Just like it.
I got to hop off here in about 10 minutes, but a couple things. Did you hear Luca in the post-game press conference last night? Him and Wick Grossbeck were having words with each other, and a reporter asked him, and Luca's like, who is the Celtics owner? I don't know who the Celtics owner is. Of course you know who the Celtics owner is. Sitting courtside right there.
Luca don't know, man. Luca don't care.
I don't know. They asked him if he could take anything out of game 2 with the way they stayed, they came back. He's like, I don't know what you mean.
He's a joker type of player with a little bit more sense of enjoyment to the game.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I can see
He's
that.
a joker type of player with a little bit sense of more enjoyment. That's all it is.
So
a little bit more chirpiness. He does chirp, but and then he'll be like, he'll be like, oh, you told him he couldn't fucking guard you. I love it. He's like, nah, I was speaking Slovenia. Like, motherfucker, we could read your goddamn lips on the, you know what I mean?
So last thing I told Tanner this, and I mentioned it in the chat, the LTS chat. If everybody remembers from last year, the Warrior Bowl, the fantasy football league, they have provided me with 2 spots I can give out in the Warrior Bowl this year. Ooh. So as I did last year, I'm going to do it again. Sam, it's a triathlon and a hot dog eating contest. That will get you in.
Well,
so
I'm out.
So here's what I'm going to do.
Carlos will represent me in the
away.
hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
The draft is in July. So next Thursday night, we're going to go through these next 3 shows tonight, Thursday night, and Monday night. And I'm going to come up with 3 questions. If anybody can answer those 3 questions, whether it be in this chat, in this broadcast, or from the comments, you'll get this one of the 2 spots. There's only 2. I can only give out 2. That's it. I'm in it. They've already sent me my invite. I'm in it. Last year it was Tanner and Alan that they got in to the Warrior Bowl. So this year I'm going to open it up. I'm going to ask 3 trivia questions. The draft's not until July, so I'm going to give it a week. I'm not going to ask you for the answers that night. I'm going to give it a week. It's 3 things that have happened on the show, whether it's from Jim, Jonathan, Nick, Sam, Tanner, myself, Johnny Cruz, whoever it may be. And I'll ask those trivia questions. If 3 people can answer it right at my Twitter, DM me, you can get a spot in the Warrior Bowl. So,
All right.
Woo.
All right.
All right.
Be listening. Everybody be listening. I will see you guys Thursday night.
See you Thursday, Scott.
All right.
Oh, our own Hall of Famer.
So Jonathan did text me just a message. He said it'd be a little after here in about 10 minutes or so. He's getting some food. Remember, he's on the West Coast, so
right. Time to talk about Tanner's attitude. What the hell?
Coaching the kids up out west. Right now, it is Florida has now tied it 1-1 in the second here in the old hockey. So again, no Jim Biringer tonight. He is boots on the ground. At game 2, was at game 1, taking pictures with Lordo. He will be back on Monday, hopefully, I think, unless there's another hockey game in Florida. I don't know if he's staying down there. I don't know his plans, but hopefully he'll be joining us.
No, he'll be back Monday. He's doing these 2, and then when they go to Edmonton, he's coming back. So
yeah, I know that, but today's Monday, so I figured off day. I mean, it might take 2 days to fucking travel because that shit is one's here and one's way up here. So
yeah,
it's a little further.
Yeah. They said it's the furthest of any finals, like Stanley Cup ever. I think of any finals, really, to be honest, it got to be.
So
yeah,
cool.
I think it is.
That's a lot of flying. Oof, man.
Yeah, I forget that, man.
It's not going well. It's not going well for the Royals against the Yankees at the moment. But
yeah, I'm not taking a look at that yet.
Yeah,
I haven't checked. I was watching a little bit of the Brewers.
Don't do it, bro. Don't look at it. It's like a Raiders of the Lost Ark. Keep your eyes shut, Marion. Don't look at it.
only the bottom of the seventh.
Well, okay.
We'll have to ask Jonathan. The trade deadline's about a month away, about a month and a half away, July 30th. There's already being reports Vlad Guerrero could be out of Toronto.
Whoa. Oh. I think we're
Guerrero Jr. They just cut Craig Biggio's son. Or
they cut him?
Right, they DFA'd him.
Really, Kevin?
Yep.
He's been that bad?
He's been that bad.
Man.
It's a shame.
Huh?
It's a shame. I had high hopes going into as well.
Yeah, I remember when they brought him up, it was him.
Guerrero Jr.
There was one other. Bichette. Bo Bichette. Yeah.
But Bichette is the one that's linked to the Guardians as far as somebody they could grab. So
Ed's saying the Guardians need Bichette in like three starters there, Sam.
there it is.
Hey,
Yeah, I hear you.
still first place in the division, so
Yeah, you guys don't need shit, Ed.
no, you're fine.
Whoa. Hey, take it easy. Take
Yeah.
it easy. He's just offering. We invite people on to give their opinion.
Ronald says, I'm guessing he meant Biggs isn't a big leaguer. So, well, I mean, he had his chances. I'll give him that. Like they gave him plenty of opportunity to be a big leaguer. Maybe he'll go someplace else, land on his feet, and find a spot. It'll be interesting.
It will be. We'll see exactly what happens.
Oh, lordy.
We're not starting our best. That's so stupid, man. We got Hampson out there, Blanco, Furman. I guess Perez is there. Never mind, that's fine. But Lofton, we're not even starting our top guys.
So we're going through. We're going through on Twitter, like who's starting, who's benching, or whatever. Are you guys fully sold? Think Russ is the starter?
Yes, he's the starter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
So.
I think so.
Do you think you will see Mr. Fields at all?
No.
If Wilson gets hurt, if Russ gets hurt, but if he is playing well, I don't see why not.
Please let Justin Fields play. Was that week 16? The Chiefs played? I'll take that all day, man.
I'll take it.
Give me Fields out there. We can get another 30 burger on him.
This. I was kind of looking at some headlines here that maybe Sam might have missed. 1983 NCAA state title team suing the NCAA that the Cardiac Wolfpack for NIL stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well,
You get it? I don't agree with it.
it was only a matter of time.
No, it's a different era. Just because it's a different era doesn't mean you get your crap, man. Especially that far back.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking.
Like give me maybe Reggie Bush era, Matt Leinart era.
Well, I mean, at least they've already said, hey, we're going to give Reggie his trophy back, and USC, all the records are back. They're giving their title back. So
yes,
and they damn well should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they should. They shouldn't touch that.
Yeah.
Reparations.
Goodness gracious. Oh, man.
Speaking of, Ramon Stevenson says he's optimistic about contract talks with the Patriots. They said they expect he's entering his final year with the rookie contract, and he's been engaged in negotiations, and they should be getting a deal done and get it locked in the very near future. So they got to get a deal done with him, man. Ramondre Stevenson of the Pats.
Yeah, he's one of those. There's one of those guys they have to keep. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
They don't have a single offensive weapon besides him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying this year might look a little different with what's his face?
Drake May.
Yeah, no, not Drake May. The head coach Stroud Mayo.
Yeah.
Because I think this year you got Stevenson and Antonio Gibson, former starter. You know, a guy that's more versatile a little bit too, who can do the pass catching. So that'll be interesting by itself. But yeah, it depends who really starts in the end Patriots.
Tina, I'll ask you while we're waiting on Jonathan to join us here in a little bit. I asked Yvette these questions last night. who is we are starting to slowly entering fantasy season.
Oh yes, we are.
But who is and obviously you're hanging out with Mikey quite often. So who is a running back to you that you're a little bit higher on that maybe is not on the ranking, in the ranking wise?
Let's see here. Hold on, let me pull up my list for you, because there is one guy. There's the Buffalo Bills, just a rookie style is Ray Davis for the Bills. Nice little rookie pickup there, guy who could back up James Cook here. No, that's not what I want. Sorry. That's a guy that's very draftable going into play, especially. I mean, it's like later later rounds in the teens, right? But you're kind of looking at him as a third, fourth, fifth style guy in best ball for running backs. Sorry, hang on. I usually have my draft guide up here because I'm drafting while we do stuff. So, running back. Okay, pop up here. Believe it or not, a guy that's going to be up there a little bit, Joe Mixon with the Houston Texans. Surprising, but this guy, he's been a workhorse in the Bengals organization. Of course, over the last 5-6 years, it seems like with him. But he is a guy that has 19 plus touches per game over his entire career. And this is a Texans team that had Singletary last year over for Pierce. Pierce is still there. That's a guy that you can kind of look up and move up there. A guy to be cautious on is Zach Moss with the Bengals. So going to the Bengals now, Zach Moss.
Actually, I was going to say, I actually like Chase Brown a lot.
Yes, Chase Brown has great value for himself there.
Who is with Chase Brown? Who's got him?
The Bengals.
Bengals too.
Yeah, he was the Bengals rookie last year.
He was drafted last year and performed well at the end of the year. And obviously with no Joe Mixon, he's the guy. So Joe Mixon is running back 14 right now.
Yep.
True. I guess.
What is he here? So he's 14. Yep, that's right.
So you like him higher than 14?
I like a little reach probably on him for this year. Okay. Another guy too that you'll like here, Nick, is oh my Lord, where the hell is he? There he is. Marshawn Lloyd, running back for the Packers that they drafted, the running back there. I know you got AJ Dillon back, but Lloyd is he's kind of a flex guy, kind of guy similar to what Aaron Jones was, but of course not as dandy, but a guy that you can look forward to more in the pass game as well. And I wouldn't mind seeing what, in the preseason we're going to see a lot, see how he's used, but I can see him being more of a second down, third down pass catcher coming into play, but he'll be a fun one.
A guy that we were talking last night that I'd like a lot is Zamir White, running back 22. There's nobody in Las Vegas. There's nobody on that depth chart.
And I'm completely avoiding basically any Raider but Bowers. I just can't get on.
Zamir White's the guy that I would take over. You know what I mean? Because there's nobody there. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. We did talk about in the Basement Brood there. Ronald brought it up about the Zach Moss deal here. On the Basement Brood Fans Football, go look it up. We talked about Zach Moss a little bit here, but essentially, if you look at what the Bengals have done with Joe Mixon, you're looking in that kind of similar role of where they just hammer it in the end zone with the running back. Now, who takes some more definite, snaps in the red zone? We don't know quite yet, obviously, but it could be Zach Moss, it could be Chase Brown, it could be a split there. But a lot of signs we're not looking at Zach Moss having the usage that Joe Mixon has going forward. So that's a deal that you have to look at to go watch for. Mikey breaks it down way better than I do, but he's still a winner after the draft. But how much of a winner? How much of a do you trust it going into the season? So.
Yep. Look how far, just how guys have fallen in the last year. Austin Eckler is running back 34. This time last year, he was like running back 5. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
Yeah, wasn't he like 3? He was like running back 3. He was like one of the.
He might have been like 5th overall. You know what I mean? Like,
and I love taking him ahead of Brian Robinson Jr. But I love Brian Robinson's value as well. I don't think he gets completely washed out of the offense. He wasn't a bad running back by any means. Look what he had on the freaking team and what he did. So,
yeah.
Yeah, Zach has to score. That's the issue. Where is it going to be used in the red zone? Because we're going to throw the ball for the Bengals. My personal favorite here.
Brown is
a lot of
running back 39.
Is Tyjae Spears. I love Spears. I love Spears to take over this role here. He's a pass catcher. We saw it all last year, and we know what Callahan likes. Callahan likes the guys that go out here and be available. And that's why I like Spears. I like Spears this year. You're looking at him at what is he? Running back 38 this year. Coming to play on this rankings for Basement Brood. And you got guys around there. Chase Brown, Brian Robertson Jr.
Yeah, Chase Brown's 39.
Also Jalen Wright with Miami, another big guy to come. So, but yeah, I like Tyjae Spears this year a lot.
Me too.
And a guy that we haven't broke down yet either, if I can find him with the Chargers, is Kimani Vidal, the running back there for the Chargers. Just because of the unknown atmosphere, you got J.K. Dobbins there. What is he like? What's he going to be like?
That's the Chargers. You said the Lions.
Chargers. Yeah, Chargers. Okay. Kimani Vidal is kind of the guy I've been grabbing because you just don't know. Gus Edwards, the Gus bus. What's he?
They're taking pretty much the Baltimore running back and moving them out to San Diego. Yeah, they went from one Harbaugh to the next Harbaugh.
You go back with Roman. Yeah, Roman. So you're going back there as a run. So Gus is going to get his stuff, but who kind of backs him up beforehand? And I like Vidal over JK. I just don't trust JK's legs and stay healthy. I hope to see Dobbins at least come out this year and stay healthy and be somewhat effective, really. But I think Vidal has as much of a chance of being that kind of guy. He's a guy I've been grabbing in best balls pretty late. Just kind of stashing and, one of those never knows.
What about on the wide receiver front?
Wide receiver front. About to sneeze here. Obviously, pretty late here. You guys can look at guys as like Marvin Mims Jr. with the Broncos. You have Troy Franklin there as well, but I think Mims is still going to come into a big play and big role there with what's his face gone. I've heard really big things about Rashad Bateman. He is a buy low candidate for sure on your drafts, but he is a guy that's expected to be part of this offense for Baltimore here coming to play. I think another big one is Rashid Shaheed. We did a video on this as well. You can go check that out when we talk about Zach Robinson a little bit as well. But this is we expect Derek Carr to go pass the ball here. Olave had a hell of a year. Shaheed actually had a hell of a year for his year with the Saints. And we expect those two guys to capitalize because they didn't draft another guy, I think, until the 5th round with Bob Means from Pittsburgh. So you're looking at waiting all the way ahead. You know that Shaheed's going to be in that playmaking there. You can get him I think pretty close to the double digits, pretty close to that 10, 11 round right now as well for that. Those are a few late guys to look at for that. There right now I'm in, I think I got 15 slow best ball drafts going right now. And all right, I've been hammering. So I've been at my first pick. I've been hammering. If I'm number 1 overall, I've been hammering C-Max still. I still think C-Max is the most versatile weapon in the fantasy ranks. If I'm number 2, which I have been as well, it just kind of what's ever left over. It's either going to be C-Mac or CD for me. So one of the C's I'm taking, and then you kind of move on from there. I've actually picked Amon-Ra ahead of guys like Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua in my drafts as well, and A.J. Brown as well. So I've been picking Amon-Ra over those guys. Just because also the value, and you can grab Goff somewhere in the 6th, 7th round. And Laporta, you can grab Laporta usually in the 3rd round, beginning of the 3rd round as well. And you can have a nice little stack there. I've been liking the Lion stack so far.
So much information. Woo.
Oh, man. It's The stuff you see, it's insane. I don't think I've taken. No, I did. I took D Hop, and I was like trying to think of the Titans wide receiver. I'm not touching Ridley.
Yeah,
I'm not touching Boyd.
Hop is wide receiver 36 is what,
Yeah.
and Ridley's 32. So they're right there together.
Well,
And really, it'll just be. I'm probably not touching either one of them unless it's real late, and I might take Hopkins
Like
real
value.
late.
yeah, like there's been value on D Hop, so I've been taking
Yeah.
him. I won't.
You just don't know either with Will Levis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
well,
like-
I've been taking Will as a third quarterback in best ball, and you can get him in the 15th round or whatever. So a nice little guy late. What do you think, Nick? Here, just early on here, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson are like neck and neck. They're right there. I've seen some with Reed ahead of Watson. I've seen some with Watson ahead of Reed.
I trust Reed right now, and I can't
like
trust.
Ridley, too.
I can't trust. I love Christian Watson. I think he's the more dynamic player, like speed wise. But you just can't trust him until he stays healthy. He's not. I mean, we're entering year 3 here now,
Yeah.
and he hasn't played. You know what I mean? But a handful of games because he keeps that hamstring keeps bothering him. They've taken him. He went to like some science thing. Like they have really tried to figure out. What's going on with his hamstrings and like how to prevent it. Whether it's diet, whether it's this, but until until I see otherwise, I got to take what, you know what I mean? Like the safer pick to me is Jaden Reed. And if you want to take if you're got depth at wide receiver, then take the flyer on Watson because I think he's going to do well. But if you don't, I would, you know what I mean? If you're looking for an everyday starter, I would take Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I like Reed as well. I'm with you there. By the way, Rashee Rice is wide receiver, currently rolling about wide receiver 43.
Fantasy Pros got him 37.
Yeah, most likely any court stuff here is going to wait till next season, the way it's looking, or very late going to the playoffs, unfortunately. But
I thought they said the NFL was going to. They expect the NFL to suspend him 6 games already.
Well, yeah, he's going to suspension. But, I mean, he's still going to be – I mean, if you can grab him, I mean, if you're talking about –
him on your bench, yeah.
Grab him in the 6th, 7th, 8th round still. Like, that's a guy available on your roster, sitting out for 6 games to be there ready to go when it counts the most. So that's kind of why I still look at him. And I'm actually drafting Chiefs receivers this year, which is not what I did last year. Tell you that. You know, there's some good value. I'm on a few.
I mean, with Hollywood Brown and Worthy and Ryan, like, you know what I mean. Like their receiving room is improved tremendously.
Absolutely,
by far.
And they're the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, so we might be fucked.
No, man. Did you hear Rios? The Texans are coming to take him.
Yeah, that's right. He's ready for that 27-0 lead in the first quarter, and then getting slapped sideways.
Who do you take in out of that Houston wide receiver room? Is it Nico? Is it Diggs? Is it Tank Dell? Like Dell was coming on strong until the injury. Nico, obviously, I think he was led the team in receptions and was like top 5 in the league in receptions, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Diggs.
And then you bring in Stephon Diggs.
I'm doing Diggs.
Diggs and so that's the issue. Is like Diggs and Collins are right next to each other in the draft here. Like it's like
and Tank Dell's not too far below them.
No, it's not. And then you got guys around you like Ayuk, Kupp, Waddle, Evans, and Pittman Jr. You know, do you like any of those guys more than Diggs or Collins? Personally, for me, I'm more hitting on the Stephon Diggs route. I don't think he's dead by any means. And I think if you got
actually, Diggs is, according to Fantasy Pros, Diggs is 27, Dell is 25, and Nico is 17.
Yeah, like on here, sorry, I'm looking at the rankings here. Diggs is 25, mine, and then Nico's 21 ADP. So, like, this may not be fully up to date what Fantasy Pros has. But they're still pretty close to each other, and it's a matter of like who you trust the most here. Personally, still for me, I'm going Diggs in this situation here. this is a guy that's played with Josh Allen. Josh Allen runs the ball a crap ton. We've been seeing more Stroud really staying in the pocket. Yeah, he moves his legs.
Second half of the season, though, Diggs is the older guy and was nowhere to be found. Now, I know they changed OCs, and maybe that was part of the reason they said see you later. But I like Nico, especially if you're in a full PPR. I just think the reception.
Well, you got to think too, right? You didn't pay a guy in a full extension for nothing to let him sit there. So, you have Diggs on a 1-year deal and Nico on a 3-year deal. Nico's probably the safer bet in the end.
Yeah.
I just think for upside, Stefon's going to be playing for that next year's contract and get that money. And that's kind of why I see him being more of the guy to grab. But, I mean, if you're looking for the safer bet, Nico is for sure it with that extension. So, coming to play.
And Tank Dell is on a rookie deal still. So, and he's coming off an injury.
He's coming up.
Leg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that a broken leg?
Yeah.
See how he comes back from that. Those are tricky.
I mean, but you're also looking like he has to share targets with Diggs, Collins, and Schultz, and possibly a little bit with Pierce that might be coming back too and Mixon. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, boy. The moose is loose on the field, y'all.
Hey, I really thought that thing was fake, but good for them. They seem to be really hitting it off, so I'm glad for him. I thought it was all fake. I really did. You know how mainstream media is, Flo.
What's up, FFP? Hey,
Howdy,
if you're in love, Tanner, you know what I mean? Love is love. We love here on the
Let him love. Let the $1 billion princess that douchebag.
He's going to make her an honest woman, and she's going to, make him an honest man.
She's going to make him get a haircut. God.
Man, wouldn't that be something?
I mean, the universe would explode. Where we at? It's still 1-1 here going into the third in the hockey land.
Gee whiz.
That's one thing I don't like about the hockey is the intermission. I feel like it's like fucking 2 halftimes I got to sit through.
It does kind of feel long. Yeah.
Anytime FFP, hit me up, man. Fellow Packers fan.
Yeah.
Can I hit you up, Nick? No.
Let me answer that for you.
Sam, you have this show with me. What more do you want?
Yeah. What more do you want, Sam?
A hug. My dad's love. Jeez, the list goes on and on.
I can't give you your dad's love. I can only give you your mama that loving.
Can I have a data boy with a pad on the back? You
want to go play catch, son?
Yeah. You want to play? When I come to the Packers Titans game, you want me to bring my baseball glove, Sam, and we have a catch in the parking lot?
No, bring your tequila. That'll be more fun. That'll be more fun. We'll do that.
Funeral.
That's how I want to go.
Amen from that. Yeah, no doubt. You're a tequila guy, Sam?
No, I can't drink this stuff. I just name random liquor. I'm a rum and Jack guy mostly, but tequila seems to make me really sick for whatever reason.
You tried Terramana. You tried the Mana.
I don't think so. My wife's a big tequila drinker, though.
You can tell her to get I'm not a big tequila drinker, but I do like some Terramana.
I'll have to ask about it. Yeah, no. For Sam, it's either like rum and cokes, Jack and cokes, anything like that. He's cool with it. Rum runners, all that good stuff.
You're from Tennessee. You're supposed to like whiskey. It's guys, you guys are freaking blood.
I'd be all over it.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, they literally advertise Jack Daniels everywhere down here. There's no escape. So when you're eating something, it could be a McDonald's burger. There's Jack somewhere in the McDonald's burger. I guarantee it. There is. It's a whole thing down here. In fact, we should go to the distillery when you come down here. So why are you calling what are you calling them? Tay-Trav?
I'm not calling him anything. Travis and Taylor. But if I had to choose between
leave
those
Tanner
two,
alone.
it is
Flo. Leave
Swelsey.
Tanner alone.
I think Swelsey is the appropriate one that I've been hearing more. So.
Swelsey.
And that might be Jason's fault in the end.
Nothing's getting used to California traffic. He said give him another few more minutes. He's almost back to the house. So
hey,
okay.
you know what a few more minutes on California traffic is? The stories I've been hearing.
Let's just sing this song and he'll appear. Braves suck. They really, really suck. You know who else sucks? LSU. They all suck. Boop. What'd you say?
Did you guys see the College World Series though between Clemson and Florida?
No, I missed it, but I heard about it. I gotta go find the highlights.
Yeah, so I'll paint the picture for you the best I can from what I saw. So Clemson is losing. Kid fucking smokes a fucking home run, right?
Woo.
And I mean, game tying home run. And he's fucking jacked. He fucking takes the bat and he spikes it on the fucking, like, on his own logo, right? Like, fucking just jacked up. So then he fucking tie game. The umps get together and the Clemson manager's like, the fuck are you guys fucking doing? Are you guys really fucking pissed off because my own player threw his like bat down and excitement just hit the biggest home run of of his fucking life? And they're like, I'm so like, yeah, well, he's like, well, fuck you. And then they were like, no, fuck you, you're out of here. And then another man that he would have cost them 2 games had they won. And then they get to the bottom of the inning. Florida scores the winning run and it's going to Omaha. But like the umps really got together because his kids celebrated and it was just like, and then like, you know what I mean? Like it not even on like the Gator logo, like on the Clemson Paw logo. And these umps were like, oh, you know what? Hey, there's no self-promotion around here, fucking Flo. You know what I mean? We don't,
my mouse drifted over it and I was like, no, I don't think I will.
You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I mean, if you're watching and you want to watch a B-rated show, check out the Bottom Line Sports Show.
Okay, now that you said it. Okay.
At 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. They're about half as good as our show, so maybe a quarter. But nonetheless.
We also don't have Jake on the show. So.
Yeah. I don't know who Jake is, so Jake from State Farm?
Good. No, it's fine. Don't look it up. It's fine. Everything's great.
But nonetheless, yeah, so like the umps were gonna fucking like no home run, like boot this kid out because he was like jacked up about hitting a game tying home run.
That's
unreal.
That's really crappy. That's very crappy. It's not even like we're not even the professionals yet, and you're really gonna do this? That's really crap.
I mean, they're kids. They're still kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kids. Yeah. It's. I don't understand the logic behind it. What lesson? Like, if there's a punishment, you're trying to teach somebody a lesson, right? What lesson are you teaching them there? Don't have fun in this game. That's what you're teaching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how old baseball players are. Like old. They hate it. Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. No bat flips. No. None of this stuff. You know what I mean? No bat flips, no celebrations, no.
Right. Anytime that always something like this comes up, there's like 18 articles from crazy old bastard, Yeah.
Crazy old whites. We'll say it. I can say it. We're white, Sam. Crazy old fucking whites.
Crazy old whites.
Like those are the people. You know what I mean? Like
might
who
be a new
fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Like they're kids. It's a fucking game. Let them have fun. You know what I mean?
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like even at the College World Series. So
I don't care about it in the pros. Like I don't celebrate, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people who don't like it, the people who don't like it are the people who can't fucking do it. That's I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I think it's utterly silly. I hate the unwritten rules of baseball. I hate everything about that. That's so stupid.
Just like the NFL, I don't feel like I hate that the no fun league. Like they've kind of gotten away. Are opening up like you should be able to fucking, you know what I mean? You should be able to celebrate. You know what? You should be able to fucking jack, you know what I mean? When you jack somebody up, you should be able to talk a little shit. Oh, that's taunting. Who gives a shit? We're sending these guys out here to get brain fucking damage, and we're worried about them taunting another guy, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's taunting. Come on,
sports are, man.
Like you're shoving up against each other like for hours, and you're really not expecting these guys' testosterone to start building up. I mean, if somebody shoves against you all the time, you're going to get hot. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, and you make a fucking play against them and you talk a little shit. You know what I mean? So fun. Yeah. That's competitive juices,
man.
Yeah. You know what? On the next fucking play, and my teammate fucking, after he you know what I mean, jacks his ass up, hey, all's fair in love and war, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with all of it. All the trash talk. Give me all the trash talk. Give me all the...
He wants all the smoke. He wants it all.
I want all the smoke, baby. I want all of it. I think it's great for sports, like competitiveness, especially at the professional level. Like, as long as they don't end up fist fighting, like that's the thing. Like, I know there's a fine line they got to walk. You know what I mean? And everybody's got to make sure. But let them have some fun, man. It's okay. Yeah.
Was it the top of the 13th this thing happened?
Yes. Yeah.
That's just awful that they would talk about like taking away a home run. That's just flabbergasts me.
Did you see it? Are you trying to watch it?
Yeah, he pissed on that.
Look for it.
I'm trying to get the replay, and I'll bring it up.
But yeah, he hits the home run and he's fucking jacked up and takes his bat and like kind of throws it on his own logo. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't like you fucking went to like Terrell Owens and fucking ran to the 50-yard line. And
of course.
No, I mean, remember when he ran to the 50-yard line? It was like when he was with the 49ers. It's not like he did. Yeah. I was praying. This is bullshit, T.O. Bullshit. You know. On the 50-yard line, like, but you know,
go back and watch that whoever went to go get him, hit him, was coming to kill him. Going to kill him.
It was a Woodson, I think.
I think you're right. I remember Kevin Byard was not prone to that kind of behavior, but Dallas was talking some major shit. And we were playing a Monday night, and Dak threw into double coverage, go figure, and he stood on the star. And nobody on Dallas came to go get him.
Piss rocket.
Yeah.
Bam.
Fucking smokes it. Watch him. He's like, fuck yeah, motherfucker.
At his own bench and everything.
What? Yeah. And he's like, his guys are fucking hyping him up. And you know what I mean?
That ball, dude.
You have to admit, some celebrations are ridiculous. Guy makes a tackle for a 1-yard loss.
Nah, man. No,
man. Bring it on.
I disagree. I'm all for every celebration.
I'm juiced just seeing it happen. All right. Yeah. I'm in.
I'm in back. Yeah. I'm in for all the celebration. And look, now I'm just like, hey, we can't be letting these kids have fun out here. This is a baseball game. We got, you know what? And the manager's like, what the fuck are they fucking talking about?
Guys, it's going to boil over.
And these guys are here like, hey, you see that? He put the bat down on his own logo. Yeah, he just hit
his own bench at the same time.
Yeah.
How dare they try to
was he taunting? Well, he was looking at his own bench. One guy's got to be the guy, right? Like the level-headed umpire. Like, guys, this can't be that big of a fucking deal.
Chill.
Yeah. Like, Mike, it's not that big a deal. Oh, no, we can't be having that. Not in this game.
Not in my ballpark. Not in my ballpark.
Not in my ballpark.
What are we teaching these guys? What are we teaching them?
What are we teaching them? What are we doing?
What are we doing? That's the guy, too, right there, man. He's like, man, not in my ballpark.
Yeah, this motherfucker. And then the manager's like, what the fuck are they fucking talking about? What are they fucking doing? Let's play some fucking
doing here.
Yeah. Yeah, Ed celebrates Commissioner Steve.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, and then he's like, hey, your guy shouldn't be slamming the bat down. And the manager's like, what the fuck are you fucking talking about? Well, it's taunting. Yeah, he was taunting me. He was taunting our own team.
Don't slam a bat.
What? He's like, what? Yeah, he's like, what?
Has John Boy Media put one out yet? Have we seen John Boy yet?
And that's okay. Hey, back it up, bench. If you want to put the kid on his back the next AB, let him. If that's okay, that's the price you pay for celebrating. I'm okay with that too.
Hey, throw the ball at him if it makes you feel better.
The kid's like, what the fuck did I do? I just celebrated with my teammates. No celebrations. Not in my house. That's what that ump is saying. Yeah. No celebrations.
Nice and tight.
We don't
keep your hands inside.
Then the manager's like, yo, what the fuck? And then he's like, get out. Get out. No, fuck that guy. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Dude, this is like
this bad out of your butt. Yeah.
Hey, asshole. Hey, asshole. That's what he keeps saying. Hey, asshole. What the fuck? You're fucking kicking me out for my guy celebrating with my fucking team? He was starting my team. Oh, fuck you. In the biggest game of the year, he just hit the biggest fucking home run of his whole entire fucking life? Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck this. Motherfucker.
By the way, the strike zone is right here.
Fuck you. A guy who can help us talk about it. He's been in these situations. And what a better time. Because he's coaching some college kids right now all the way out in the West Coast. Give it up for our coach, Jonathan Grishman, baby.
Yeah. Jonathan.
Yeah. California love.
How's it going, brother?
Good, Jonathan. First of all, how's the trip? Have we played any games yet?
No games yet. We had our league meeting today. We have our first practice with my team, with my boys tomorrow, and then we start playing games Wednesday morning. So, yeah, we're hitting the ground hard, real fast here. So I've been out here a couple of days. I get out here a little early, just kind of enjoy a little bit of the environment. Golfed a little bit on Saturday, trying to get used to this dry heat. Being in Louisiana, and I gotta have my humidity, and this dry heat is killing me right now.
This weather,
but it's rough. It is absolutely rough out here, but enjoying it. I was out here 10 years ago in California in Palm Springs. I've got to play pro ball out here, and so I'm getting a little bit of a flashbacks here and there for him. But so it's going good. But like I said, we hit the ground running with practice tomorrow, introductions with the team, and then ball games start up Wednesday morning.
Does your Louisiana accent pop out now that you're out west? Oh, this weather. Let us retire to the solar and sip upon a mint julep or some iced tea.
I mean, Sam, I didn't grow up in the 1800s, so I mean,
that's an old money accent, sure. I'm taking away your Southern card. You only have 3 left.
He's like the guy from Wild Wild West with Will Smith, the guy.
Yeah.
Dr. Lovelace. Yeah.
I'll say they have a hard time understanding me still. They do. But I'll say I talked to a couple people. I'm a true Southern gentleman. Yes, sir. No, sir. No matter what, no matter who, no matter what I'm talking to, and I'm getting sideways looks like, why are you so nice? Literally, one person at the grocery store across the street from us here, they go, "Why are you so polite?" I'm like, that's how I'm raised. That's how we raise in the South. So,
the door open. When I held the door open in California, people looked at me like I was from space.
Midwest nice, yeah. I got that Midwest nice too.
You?
Yeah. Not to you, Sam. Just not to you. Just not to you.
I am enjoying the sun. I'm getting my tan. I've got the Pat McAfee tank top on right now, and getting a little bit of color out here. So I'm getting my tan on. I'm trying to look getting that California sun kiss going. But man, it's good. I'm enjoying it out here, and I'm ready to go to work though. My free time has been good. Like I said, golf, shot at 81 on golf the other day. Now it's time to go to work, though. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for us to start playing some games and having some fun with these kids and working and teaching them.
Jonathan, you saw us breaking down the Clemson and Florida game. I want to get your thoughts on that scenario. Now, Florida came back and won, so everything was really kind of minute. But had that happened, had Clemson won that game, they were suspended for 2 games, all the game in Omaha.
Yeah. I actually got to have a conversation with my dad. My dad's a 33-year college baseball umpire, and I had conversations. We had a situation like that with LSU. One of the first baseman hits a big home run against North Carolina, slams the bat, and they're or actually it was against, it was against North Carolina. No, Wofford. It was against Wofford College at the regional. And he slams the bat, turns at his team, and and is getting them riled up, and they gave him a warning. That's the rule, though. That is the rule. It's not necessarily like you can't celebrate. It's just you're trying to limit, any issues. They're having to do a little bit more of control.
81 on a par 3 or par 5 course.
Ronald, it was a real golf course, not a par 3. It was a real golf course. I promise you. No, but they're trying to limit a lot of the issues that takes place in ballgames, especially in a tournament. Yes, emotions are really high, and that's where they want to make sure it's under control even more. So you cannot show, even if you're not showing up your team, your opponent, the slamming the bats, get your pumping up your team. They want to control that as much as possible. And again, giving them a warning that's a good thing. You're giving it because again, by rule in certain areas, that's an automatic ejection, and because he turned to his team is why they gave him a warning. But for the last couple of years in NCAA baseball, they have really put a lid on any kind of celebrations that takes place to avoid any problems between teams. That is a big emphasis by the NCAA over the last couple of years.
I hate it. Get it out.
I hate it too. I absolutely hate it as well. Hate it. We had a game. So when I was with Rich Mountain this year, we had a game. It was number 1 versus number 2. The first battle for first place in the conference. We had bases loaded. Our catcher steps up. First pitch hits a grand slam. He bat flips. He does bat flip, which that should have been an ejection. They gave him a warning. And everything, and I'm sitting here going, hey, man, this is what you're about. The sport is about emotions. You cannot take emotions out of this game. I absolutely hate it too. I understand why, but I hate it as well. Let the emotions take care of themselves. The issue is they don't. What someone commented, well, I throw a ball at the back of his head or the back. They don't want that anymore. Like no matter who, no matter what level, NCAA or even again, you don't see that in MLB really either. They don't want that stuff happening in baseball anymore. So that's why they're trying to put a lid on it as much as possible.
Isn't the simple way of just like going to the manager and going to both like simple conversation like, hey, we're gonna let our boys celebrate. You're gonna let your boys celebrate. We promise there ain't gonna be no retaliation. The retaliation is us fucking hitting another fucking home run in your face. That's the retaliation.
Because here's the coaches may agree to that. Me as a player, I'm not agreeing to that.
But don't you want to? Then wouldn't you? So like, if the kid did that, I agree. Like, I am a little old school. Like, hey, all right, we'll just get you on the next time. I'm a plunk you, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, if I'm a player too, like, they gonna celebrate. Wait till I get back to back. I'm a jack one out as far as I can, and then I'm gonna give him the old BX suck it sign as I round the bases.
And that's where I was going with it right there. The celebration, the slamming of the bat's not the problem. It's somebody making a comment to your opponent in disrespect. That's where they draw the line. They don't want that. So you limit the celebration to limit the further level that it can get to. They don't want that because again, if you bat flip and go around the bases, somebody's going to make a comment. Somebody's going to make a statement. And you can actually go back to, it was actually 2 or 3 years ago where junior college, Weatherford College, and I can't remember who they played, kid hits a home run, runs around the bases, he gets to second base, he makes a comment to the pitcher. And maybe you guys might remember this. He makes a comment to the pitcher. Well, the pitcher drops his glove as the batter's rounding third and spear tackles him, and a full-out brawl takes place. They don't want the comments to be made, and that's the problem. If you celebrate, somebody one way or another on one side is going to make a comment, going to make a statement, and you're going to have a problem occur. No matter if there's a gentleman's agreement to not have it happen.
I get with that. That part of that is society and being soft, like SAWFT. Like, get some thick skin. You know what I mean? Like, we're competitive. Like we're gonna like I grew maybe I'm different, obviously. Like I admit that. All my kids talk shit because I talk shit. We talk shit to each other. Number one, that's how we love each other in my household. Like we don't if you're not sarcastic to one another, then we just don't love you. So you know what I mean? But like that's kind of how I was raised. Like you gotta have thick skin, man. Like it's okay. Like people gonna talk shit. Like it's gonna be all right. Like it's gonna be all right. Like that's what they have to learn. You can't just be fighting everybody. Sometimes somebody talks shit to you. You want to do something about it, do it on the field. Do it on the diamond. Like that's my mindset. I know not everybody's got that mindset.
That's not how it works, though. Again, and look, because you're going to defend your teammate. You're going to defend your teammate. You're going to defend your pitcher. We remember years ago, Carlos Gomez in the first inning against the Brewers. He hits a home run, and he's chirping at the pitcher. And you had Freddie Freeman and Drelton Simmons and Chris Johnson chirping back at Gomez, and Brian McCann meets him at home plate, gets right in his face, and say, "You're not going to do that to my pitcher. You're not going to do that. Who the hell are you going to show up my teammate?" Absolutely, and I would be no different in that. If someone wants to make
I just think you do it right back to them. I'm a very tit for tat. I got you. Next time I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
No.
That's just
you have to. That's why I get the NCAA trying to limit the issues. Do I think they go too far on limiting the celebrations and emotions? Yes, but I understand why. Because again, talk about us as a society, we do go too far, and we don't know how to handle that anymore. That's the problem. Yeah. We don't know how to handle when things go too far and things escalate to another level. It used to be, again, 20, 30 years ago, if somebody shows up your teammate, you pelt them in the back, and they run to the next base, and they say, "Okay, we're even. We're good now."
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore because things get escalated, and that's what we don't want in this game, and especially at the collegiate level.
Yeah, but I feel like I would rather have that than this alternative where a kid's celebrating the biggest home run of his life at this point in time of maybe sending his team to the College World Series or tying it to a chance to go, and you can't. And he celebrates like he's really like looking at his teammates in this situation, and like fuck yeah, like we did this shit, like you know what I mean, like this relief, like we've been in this dog fight all day with this team, and we did it together, and now you make the headline of the umpires of booting this kid and this manager instead of.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Because I don't remember the details of the game, but did that happen after the push with Jack Caglione and the Clemson player? Was that happen after or before?
At the tag?
Yes.
Wasn't the tag in the 12th?
Yeah.
Was that later on? Okay. So that's I don't know. I don't know the details.
The home run was top of the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the tag happened in the 12th.
Yeah.
So that the bumping and the tag happened before the home run. There's another reason. There's another reason you had to do what you had to do as an umpire in that game, because you already had emotions high between what happened between the Caglione and the Clemson player. Emotions were already high and escalated. And then you had the home run that happened the next inning. You had no choice because things could have gone really sideways if the umpires did not get control of that game. So believe me, I've talked to enough umpires. They don't want to do that. They understand the game. They understand what's going on in the game, the emotions of the game. They don't want to, but they have no choice. The NCAA has put an emphasis to making sure you have control of the ball game. And when that happened, when the push and the shove happened after the tag, and then the next inning you had the home run, their hands were tied. It was it's no different than I can remember with the umpire. The umpire in the Syndergaard game years ago, he goes, their ass was in the jackpot. It's no different in that situation. The umpires had no choice but to put warnings out and make sure that they had control of the ball game.
Yeah, that tag was top of 2. So,
yeah.
Emotions are going to run high. You're playing sports and it's competitive.
They are.
That's how I look at this. And it's, you know what I mean? Like, especially at the game like that where it's season's on the line.
Yeah, but it's just like the NFL. They're gonna punish you. MLB is gonna punish you.
I'm a fan of like messages being sent because I think it was earlier this year we're playing Detroit or was it Minnesota? I don't remember. But so the guy at bat had said something to Gallad, who was pitching. I think he tried to hit it and spun around and was kind of laughing about it or something like that. And Gallad threw a pitch, and David Fry's glove was already by the guy's head. And it just hit right there. And the guy on TV goes, "Oh, he's just buzzing the radar tower. Don't worry about it." And after that, that guy didn't smile or joke around or anything like that. So I prefer messages being sent that way. Like, just letting you know, I could do it if I wanted to.
I'll from experience getting hit in the head by 95 and 98 miles an hour fastballs, it's scary as crap. I don't care if a message is being sent.
Yeah, I don't like the in the head. In the back, I'm okay. In the ass, I'm okay. In the head, we got to stay away from.
That's scary. That is scary, and
both heads.
I mean, like, you don't want to have that kind of message. And again, that's part of the game that they're trying to get rid of more than anything else. And again, that's why you don't see it anymore. You don't even see guys getting hit, thrown at on purpose anymore, because they're trying to at least control the game. Whether it's college or professional, you have to have control. And just, and that's where, again, MLB wise, players policing themselves. I don't have a problem with that, because at the end of the day, they understand, hey, we're not going to do this on purpose to hit you and injure you or whatnot like that. But, if there's something that needs to be done to control the game, the players should be the ones to allow that happen, especially at the professional level. Collegiate's different. But professional level, I have zero problem with players policing the game themselves.
Speaking of the professional level, the trade deadline, Jonathan's about a month and a half away. It's being reported if the Blue Jays tank here, Vlad Guerrero could be on the trade block. Do you see Vlad, former MVP, getting shipped out of Toronto?
No, I don't. I actually would see Bo Bichette being more of a trade piece than Vlad Guerrero, just because at this point, Guerrero's value is not as high as we portrayed to be. Again, he's a young, where his value is he is still young, but he's been inconsistent the last couple of years. He's not, he has the ability to be a dangerous hitter, but we just haven't seen it as consistent. So if you look at it in the first baseman market, who would you rather have, Vlad Guerrero Jr. or Pete Alonso? Partly, I would rather Pete Alonso. And if it's going to cost you an arm,
but Vlad's under contract though. Vlad's under contract.
I understand that, but at the same time, again, if you're talking about a team that's a contender that's looking for a big bat, who would you rather have? I would rather have Alonso. Now, if you're looking for someone you have control over, sure, absolutely. In that case, young and under control for with the contract, sure, then Guerrero's the guy. But at the same time, you haven't gotten the MVP caliber player that we've been expecting him to be for the last couple of years. He's not been that. Whereas Bo Bichette has been. If it wasn't for Bobby Witt Jr., we would talk about Bo Bichette being one of the top shortstops, one of the top 3 shortstops in the game as far as young shortstops. But because Bobby Witt Jr. has absolutely torn it across the board and put himself as an MVP candidate, we don't talk about Bo Bichette as much as one of the best shortstops, and best young shortstops, and one of the best shortstops in the game. So if I'm the Blue Jays with the value the most, I would look at trading Bo Bichette more than I would trade Vlad Guerrero, because I think the value is greater in return for Bichette than it would be Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, I like that. I'm agreeing with that.
Makes sense.
What else? Nick, you said somebody else earlier.
I don't remember who I said that. I think that was it.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Let the kids play.
Let them fucking play. Let them talk their shit.
Nick's just still mad at me for being late, I guess. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
I said you were in the California traffic. You got used to Arkansas where nobody's on the fucking roads, and then you get to California and realize you're not in Louisiana anymore.
Yeah, even out here, it's a little bit it's a little bit tighter as far as with the traffic and whatnot. So yeah, a little bit taken back on how long it took me to go get some food and whatnot. And again, the time difference is still throwing me off a little. Again,
I bet.
doing a show with you guys. It's sunlight out still right now, whereas usually 9 o'clock I'm with you guys,
It's dark here.
So
yeah, it's almost 10 now.
It's throwing me off a little bit still.
Yeah,
That must be an investment. Go ahead.
go ahead, Tim. No, I was going to say I don't have anything else. So if you guys got a question,
I'm just curious here. I want to know, coming up with All-Star break here in about a month, ish, right, coming into play. I'm going to go to the NL Central, Nick's favorite division. Right now, Milwaukee far ahead, right, from everybody else, over 500 ball by far, the only team over 500 ball in that division. Any of these teams here, Cubbies, Lewis, Pittsburgh, and Cincy, are we looking at these guys being even at 500 ball or close to the Brewers come All-Star break?
I don't really think so. Again, in the Brewers being what they're doing right now, it's still kind of surprising to me because I didn't predict it with you guys that we would see the Brewers being a first place team. I expected the Reds to be better than what they are, and the Cubs being a little bit better. I know the Cubs have had a lot of injuries that have kind of set themselves back. Sam, we're talking about the NL Central, not the American League.
yeah.
But again, but even the Pirates too. I think the Pirates, where I was expecting them to be a little bit better than what they've been right now, and you have everybody grouped together seven games back of the Brewers, and the Brewers are winning, which it kind of goes a little bit as far as I guess the team culture, despite losing Counsell. The culture of the franchise was greater than what we thought it was, and again, despite a lot of the moves that was made over the last few years, this is still a good cultured franchise. So I think
to kind of piggyback that, how the hell are the Brewers getting it done? Tanner, I mean, you got the inside track because I don't really know. Like, you look at their lineup, you look at their pitching, like they don't have that name of a guy, right? Like you know what I mean? Yelch, I guess, right? But
Hoskins. I mean, you had two guys there. Gary Sanchez is your other big vet, right? Willie Contreras, the best catcher in baseball right now. Like you're hitting, you can produce offense, right? And
you got good hitting coach, huh?
It's going right. Quite frankly, it's going back to the pitching game too. They're bringing up young guys. They're bringing up the rookies, making them work. Colin Ray just had a hell of a game today as a start, a much needed start for the Brewers here for that rotation. And quite frankly, the rotation that they're starting to develop. Outside of Blackville going on possible end of year IL now, you're looking at third opinion, but look at these bring up the young guys and they're coming out and performing. Now, will they get figured out eventually? Sure. But right now that's kind of what they need is to see, hey, who's gonna sort out who's not. And it's working out. Whatever it is, it's working out.
Well, and you throw in the fact that the division is not as good as we thought it was gonna be. Correct. I think that's a factor in it because again, look at the NL East, the Braves being 35-28, that would be basically a game and a half behind the Brewers right now, and give or take. You could say the same thing in the NL West, where the Padres 34-35, they would be they'd be right around that area of 5 games behind the Brewers.
Well, even the Nationals would be, you know what I mean, like they would be right there. They'd only be like 3 games back.
No, the Nationals are 30-35. They would be in last place in the Central.
I looked at it wrong. My bad. I looked at it. I was looking at what I looked at was Nationals, and then I looked at the Braves win, and I was like 35 wins. So that's why.
Braves have got a handful of games that didn't get a chance to play because of weather or whatnot. But I mean, you have every team in the Central is under 500 right now. So
because they all stink.
But we didn't expect that. We didn't expect that this division would be like this. We expected it to be better and more competitive. And I think that's where that's kind of it's emphasizing the Brewers' success because everybody else has been failing so far, not competing at the level we thought they were going to be. So the Brewers are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Credit them. They're still winning games while everybody else is struggling. So it's a matter of doing your job while everybody else isn't, and that's where you have to look at and say that the Brewers are pulling it off right now. And again, it goes to the culture of the franchise. Something we can look at and say sometimes the culture is built by the manager, it's built by the players itself, it's built by the front office. For the Brewers situation, it's built by the players. The players there have bought into a culture that they have set up and allowed them to be successful post Craig Counsell leaving, post Josh Hader and Corbin Burns and Woodruff not being there. Like, it's a strong culture that the players themselves have bought in and built around themselves to be able to stay competitive. So you got to give credit to the players of this team being able to stick it out and continue to do their job.
Yeah, and I think a big key to that, like you said, culture, was knowing that the bench coach was taking over. Murphy took over the manager spot. That is, you kept the same staff that you were going to even start the season with without doing a full rotation. Bringing Ricky Weeks in as that bench coach, essentially, right? The assistant coach there. So I think it was just smart moves to don't interrupt too much to it with the Counsell leaving, because that was a big move, but able to sustain the staff you have, keep the culture there that you've improved upon, obviously, last year, making the playoffs there, the wild card game. So I think that was pretty massive there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I'm just curious.
The Cubs don't have a fucking bullpen. But to that, if the season ended today, they'd be tied for the third place wild card team. So, there's that.
Well, technically, San Francisco has the edge. So,
they all have the same record.
Technically, San Francisco has
Tanner, let him have it, Tanner.
They're all 32 and 34.
He needs it. Tanner. Let him have it.
Real quick, Jonathan, we were talking earlier with Scott and Sam and his Guardians.
That's me.
Are they? Is Voigt the right now? I know we're a month, 2 and a half months in. Is he the AL Manager of the Year?
I would say so. Yeah, I don't think there's any other manager you can really say. I mean, could Aaron Boone be part of the conversation? Possibly. Maybe. But as far as turning the team around from where they were last year to being a division leader and playing probably better than I know the Yankees have been really good at times. They've had moments where they take a step back. The Guardians have been consistent. And from where they were last year, very a disappointing season, to being where they're at today, you have to give Stephen Voigt the front running of the Manager of the Year job, just for what he has done with an immediate turnaround with that franchise.
I mean, Francona leaving that whole health issues too at the end for his manager career, but turning around a team that was already playoff contenders and losing a couple of key guys, and now you're still sitting first place in the division.
And not having Shane Bieber part of the leading the rotation. And so you lose your ace. And again, we see what the Braves are doing right now. Braves lose their ace, and they're struggling right now. Guardians lose their ace, and they still win. So you got to give them credit to what they're doing, and that goes all the way to Stephen Voigt.
I do like your comment about Boone, because this was a guy we were talking about being canned last year, right? This is a mid-season fire possibly coming into play, and now he's 111 run differential right now, which is insane positive.
Guys, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, that's the show for today. We'll see.
He ordered one of them California prostitutes at the door, so tell her. Hold on a second.
Matt, so your name
the hockey game is getting real chippy right now.
Oh yeah, it's the best hockey.
Oilers are down 3-1, but McDavid had a fast break, and I don't really know the hockey term, but the guy fucking took a stick and hit him in the dick with it as he was chasing. Good Chuck did.
He was definitely bothering him.
The good old dick hit. That's what they call it.
And did you tell that prostitute to give you 5 more minutes, Jonathan?
Stop. You're going to get me in trouble out here.
All right. Well, he didn't deny it, folks.
So I was talking about Boone, being a midseason fire to, you bring in Soto, another big name, all the big names there, and now you're sitting in first place, number 1 overall in the AL, of course. So, I kind of like your spot on with Boone possibly looking at that as well. So,
yeah, and that's, again, we've said it. I said it that this is a make or break year for Aaron Boone. That if they don't turn around and really win and compete for not just the division, but obviously again what the expectation in New York is is World Series contending to compete for and play for to win a World Series. It almost seemed like if he didn't make it to the World Series, and it still can be the case because we know how New York is, he's putting himself in a position where they're going to be able to be one of the better teams in the American League to compete for a World Series because they get Garrett Cole back here soon too. That makes it even more interesting what's going to happen with this team. So you go from potentially being fired, and you're on your last leg. Your seat is hot as can be, and it is in New York, and you're best record in the American League right now, and you're holding off a team that was the young Orioles that we all anointed and expected to be the leaders of the American League East for the next decade.
We all picked him in the World Series.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to give Aaron, but you have to give Aaron Boone credit as much as some of us, myself, does not want to give anything positive to the Yankees.
I will say I did pick the Yankees to finish second, and you laughed at me, so there's that as well.
He'll never forget it. Jonathan. He'll never forget it. It's one good pick.
You said on June 9th,
I don't think did I laugh at that? Because I looked at the American League. Like who did I choose?
I remember. I wrote it down. Jonathan Grisham laughed at me for picking the Yankees.
He's gonna go find a clip.
I have to hopefully root for the Yankees to do well.
I'm trying to think as far as who would I have ahead of the Yankees in
I don't know,
this division.
the Blue Jays, the Rays. I don't know. You did. I
didn't say the Rays. I know for a fact I said the Rays were going to take a huge step back this year.
The Blue Jays, maybe, I don't know, but I said the Yankees, and you laughed.
Well, I have to go. I'm gonna throw the challenge flag on this. I want to review on.
You go back and check the tape. Fucking 3 months ago, yeah. So there's that.
Like I said, I'm throwing a challenge flag on that right now because I don't think I laughed at you for the. I laughed at you for the White Sox. I laughed at you for the
roll the tape back.
I retook that. I reneged that pick though. If you remember,
you picked the White Sox to win the American League Central.
Yeah,
you picked them to win the division.
Jonathan, I gave him the Bodkins KOD, baby, and it worked, okay? You know what I mean?
The biggest dumpster fire in baseball, and it's the same league that has the Oakland A's in it right now that doesn't even want to play home games in their future new state that they're going to play in. They don't even want to have home games there. They want to have a neutral site ballpark. And we're talking about the biggest dumpster fire in baseball is the Chicago White Sox, who you picked to win the division.
Yeah. Again, I re-picked that and I said, never mind. And then I also said, I gave him the Bodkins KOD and it worked. Okay. You got to, we're playing chess, not checkers here. All right.
When a host has too much power, the Nick Bodkins story.
Jonathan, we appreciate you. It is late for us. It is 10 o'clock our time. So we're going to get up out of here. I know you, it's like only 8 o'clock your time there in California. So much of us got to get up and get some sleep. So we appreciate you joining us, even if it was a little bit later, giving us great insight on the Clemson. And because I would have never known that was a huge rule in college baseball. So it sucks. And that's why I probably won't watch now. So you ruined that for me, too. So
we're very mature adults here on the LTS show.
Still enjoy watching college baseball because it is one of the more purest forms of baseball that's out there right now. So still enjoy it. And this is a fun time. Even though my LSU Tigers are no longer in it, I always enjoy watching this time of the year for college baseball. It's a lot of fun. So sit back, enjoy great baseball at the collegiate level still.
It is. I love the softball World Series. Shout out Oklahoma again, 4-Pete. But best of luck to you and the boys on Wednesday. Kick some ass. We can't wait to hear about it on Monday.
Sounds good. And I'll make sure I'll be on time with you guys on Monday next week.
Yeah. Punctuality, asshole. We'll see you there.
God dang.
See you guys.
See you, dude.
He's our guest, Nick. Our guest.
He's not. Yes, he's been on the show more than 1,000 times. You're no longer guest. Your family.
Oh, you're right. He's LSU. Never mind.
Yeah. Real quick before we get out of here, Sam, any final thoughts?
No. Starting a new week here. New beginnings. All that good stuff. be sure to take care of yourself and stuff like that, because a lot of people, including myself, neglect certain things and whatnot. Like just to share, I was in the emergency room Tuesday. Nothing like super crazy, but it's I'm showing signs of what is called Crohn's disease, and so
shit. Poop your pants.
Yeah, poop your pants. So, but there are steps to be taken and stuff like that. It's not super major; it's manageable. And I might not even have it. I have to go to a specialist and what's not. But take care of yourselves. There are, important things to do. Maybe I don't want to make that doctor appointment. I don't want to go to the doctor or whatever. You should probably go to the doctor.
I've been doing it. Yep.
Amen to that. Or else you're gonna be pooping in a colostomy bag like
Sam
is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all saw me go, excuse me, like 8 times this show. So
Hey, I don't want to make fun. I got to make fun of Sam and lighthearted, but if you deal with Crohn's,
okay.
that's fucking tough deal.
You want me to poop myself on air, Nick? Will that make you love me? Is that
so,
is this what you want, Nick?
Hopefully,
is this what you want?
hopefully everything is okay. Tanner, any final thoughts real quick before we get out of here?
Check out Wednesday night, guys, on the Sports Buffoons, releasing a new style show, a new intro, new logo. It's already out now, but got some new stuff happening there with the Buffoons. So check us out as we talk NBA Finals. We'll be talking some Royals, of course.
That logo was awesome.
Huh?
That logo is awesome.
Appreciate it.
That's good.
The intro is really fun too. So, but we got I'm sure we'd bring up something NFL wise, and then of course buffoonery moments happening. So, but come check it out Wednesday night, 8:30 Central. Sounds right. Hopefully we're on by then, and we're going from there. So, but that's all I really got.
Yeah. Real quick, my final thought is, all these people hating on Eminem. Real quick,
for heaven's sake.
Everybody hating on Eminem. Oh, he there's people that are like, oh, he's not making new hip hop music. He's not making rap music or hip hop music for all you new fuckers, okay? He's making hip hop and rap music for us people, okay? The people who have given up and not listened to new rap music in the last decade. We needed somebody to remind us why we love hip hop and rap music, and Eminem has now brought it back to the forefront. Yeah. Okay, Justin Bieber, we don't care about new people in this universe, all right? We care about us, all right? Give me Eminem and all the new stuff, his new album, all of it right now, today, inject it into my veins because I love it, all right? I don't care what these 19, 20-year-olds, if they don't like it or not, all right? It's a banger. Houdini's a banger to me. I told my son that the same thing. I said, this thing is freaking bangs. He's like, it's not a banger. I said, you don't know shit.
I love it.
You don't know shit. I love it.
It's what real rap is, all right? Learn.
Yes. Yeah. Because he's not doing this number.
Is that great rapping?
No, because you can actually understand the words come out of his fucking mouth.
With that being said, real rap. This is what it's all about.
With that being said, that's the show. It's been a great one. We'll be back to Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. See you then for another LTS show. Tanner, hit that outro, baby.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.